My name is Stephanie, and if you ever wonder how a single choice can unravel an entire life like thread pulled from a silk dress, I can tell you exactly how it happens, slowly at first, then all at once, until there's nothing left but frayed ends and silence. It started 4 years after I'd left home for good, or so I thought. I was 25, freshly armed with a master's degree in marketing, a rented studio apartment in Seattle that smelled faintly of rain and instant coffee, and a suitcase of unresolved feelings I told myself I'd outgrown. Mom, Lucy, called on a Tuesday evening, her voice bright and practiced over the speakerphone.
Come home for my birthday weekend, darling. It's been too long.
John misses you too. I heard the unspoken plea beneath the cheer, don't let the distance grow permanent.
I booked the flight before I could talk myself out of it.
The estate still loomed on the hill like a monument to success. White stone facade glowing under security lights, driveway lined with manicured hedges, the faint hum of the city below like distant waves. John opened the door himself, no staff tonight. He was 52 now, silver threading through dark hair, shoulders broad under a tailored navy shirt, eyes the color of storm clouds. Stephanie, he said, drawing out my name like he was tasting it. The hug was warm, professional at first, then his hands slid lower on my back, lingering just above the waistband of my jeans. I felt the press of his fingers, the subtle inhale as if he were memoizing my scent, jasmine shampoo and airplane air.
I pulled away laughing nervously.
Good to see you too. Mom swept in seconds later, arms wide, perfume of gardenias and relief. We ate on the terrace, grilled salmon, chilled sansa, stories about my classes and her latest closing deals. John watched me across the candlelight, compliments slipping out too easily. You've got your mother's fire, but sharper eyes, each one landing like a pebble in still water, rippling outward. Mom left the next morning for Dallas, a 3-day conference sealing a multimillion-dollar waterfront property flip for John's firm. You'll be fine here, she said, kissing my forehead, then his mouth.
Catch up.
Relax. The door closed with a soft click that echoed through the foyer like a starting pistol. The house felt bigger instantly, ceilings higher, shadows longer. John suggested a movie that night in the home theater. Plush recliners, surround sound, a bottle of Cabernet breathing on the side table. We sat close, not touching, but the space between us crackled. Halfway through, the lights flickered, power surged from the storm rolling in off the coast, then plunged into black. In the dark, his hand found my thigh, palm flat, warm through denim. I didn't move.
My heart hammered so loud I was sure he could hear it.
Stephanie, he whispered, voice rougher now. Tell me to stop. I didn't. Instead I turned toward the sound of his breathing, found his mouth in the dark. The kiss was slow, deliberate, no frantic fumbling, just a quiet inevitability. When the lights stuttered back on, his eyes were open, locked on mine, pupils blown wide. We didn't speak. We rose together, hands linked, and walked upstairs like thieves in our own home. In the guest suite, neutral grays, king bed with crisp white sheets, we shed clothes without ceremony. His body was solid, marked by time in ways mine wasn't. Faint scars from old sports injuries, the slight softness of a man who worked long hours rather than gym hours. He moved with certainty, whispering against my skin, I've imagined this more times than I should admit. I answered with my hands, my mouth, giving him everything. Every sigh, every arch, every forbidden word. Afterward we lay tangled, sweat cooling, guilt already creeping in like fog through cracked windows.
This is insane, I murmured. He traced circles on my hip.
Or it's honest. For once. The next 48 hours blurred into fever. Morning started in the kitchen. Coffee, stolen kisses over the marble island while sunlight poured through floor-to-ceiling windows. Afternoons by the infinity pool, bodies slick with sunscreen and sin, hidden from the world by high hedges and privacy glass. Nights in the master bedroom, the one with a 4-poster bed Mom had chosen on their honeymoon, where we'd collapse laughing at how reckless we were, then fall silent when reality pressed in. Each time we finished, I'd stare at the ceiling fan spinning lazily overhead and think, this is the last time.
But it never was.
We'd rationalize in whispers. Your mother doesn't see me anymore, he'd say. She's married to the empire, not to me. I'd nod, let him pull me close again, because admitting it was just lust, just selfishness, just destruction felt worse than pretending it was love. Mom came home Sunday night, wheels crunching gravel earlier than expected. She walked in smiling, arms full of duty-free bags, then froze. Her gaze flicked from my flushed cheeks to John's rumpled shirt, the way we sat too close on the couch. You two look cozy, she said, voice light but edged with something brittle. That night she cornered me in the hallway outside my old bedroom, arms crossed, eyes searching. Is there something going on between you and John?
The question hung like smoke. I met her gaze steadily.
No, Mom. We're just talking, catching up. She studied me for a long beat, then nodded once.
Okay.
But her hug was stiff, her goodnight kiss cool on my cheek.
I felt the lie settle in my stomach like lead.
John confessed 3 weeks later. I still don't know why, guilt finally winning, or perhaps a twisted need to claim what we'd done as his victory. He told her in their bedroom while I sat downstairs pretending to scroll my phone, ears straining for sound. First came the low murmur of voices, then a sharp cry, Mom's, followed by glass shattering against the wall.
Footsteps. A door slamming. I ran upstairs.
Mom stood in the doorway, face ashen, hands trembling at her sides. When she saw me, her expression crumpled into something beyond anger, pure, hollow devastation.
You, she whispered, voice cracking like thin ice.
You were my daughter. No scream, no slap, just those words, delivered like a verdict. She pushed past me, grabbed her coat from the hall closet, keys jangling, and walked out into the night.
The car engine roared to life. Taillights disappeared down the drive. She never came back to that house.
The divorce was clinical, vicious in its efficiency. Lucy moved to London within weeks, new number, new email, social media scrubbed of me. John's empire cracked under the weight, investors whispered about instability, deals fell through, headlines speculated wildly, real estate tycoon's family scandal tanks portfolio. The mansion sold at auction 6 months later, marble counters and crystal chandeliers gone to strangers. John and I tried to cling to each other at first, nights in cheap hotels, promises of starting over somewhere anonymous.
But the obsession soured fast.
Without the thrill of secrecy, without the forbidden rush, we were just two people who'd burned down a family for nothing. One morning I woke to an empty bed and a note on the pillow. This was never sustainable. I'm sorry, for all of it.
He was gone. No forwarding address. Now I live in a one-bedroom walk-up in a city whose name I barely remember saying aloud. The walls are thin, neighbors argue through them at night. I wake sweating from dreams where mom's face hovers, whispering you were my daughter on repeat. Friends drifted away when the rumors reached them. My biological dad, who I'd kept at arm's length for years, sent one terse email. I'm disappointed, but not surprised. I deleted it without replying.
Every day the guilt is a physical thing, heavy in my chest, sharp behind my eyes. I gave him everything. My body, my loyalty, the last shreds of my mother's trust. In return, I got silence, regret, and the knowledge that some lines, once crossed, erase you from the map of people who once loved you. If this story reaches anyone teetering on the edge of temptation, hear me. It whispers sweetly at first, excitement, validation, the illusion of being truly seen.
But betrayal doesn't whisper back.
It screams in the aftermath, echoes forever in empty rooms, in unanswered calls, in the hollow space where family used to be.
I destroyed the woman who gave me life.
I chased a man who used me as a mirror for his midlife emptiness. And now I'm left holding the pieces, wondering if forgiveness is even possible when the person you need to forgive most is yourself.